Hi YouTube! Okay, so I've got my one project going on, which is my collection of Mega Drive games, but that will be going on for years, I'm sure. The time it'll take to find them all and get all of them. I have got some pickups actually, so let me grab them. I'll just magic away, and I'm back. Okay, so some pickups first. So let's get them out of the way. Now I do my favourite game last, so turn them the other way up. So what have I got? I have got Ariel the Little Mermaid. So that's cool. Ariel the Little Mermaid. Now this one, a lot of people will probably like. I've not actually played it myself, so I'll give this a go. Which is Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. A bit difficult to get hold of this one. A lot of people suggesting it, and managed to pick it up for a tenner. So I think that's probably about a good price, because you normally see it on eBay for about 25 quid. Again, another rarity, which is Zombies. Paid about a £5 for that one. Again, because it's a bit more harder to get hold of. All the rest is a quid. So that was Ariel, Clax, some kind of arcade sim type thing. I don't know, but we will see when I review it. Some guy has put his eBay, I'll get it out later, post-it thing in there, card. So that's Rolo to the rescue, some kind of elephant thing. Chuck Rock. Now this strange, this one, it says Genesis, not Mega Drive, so I hope it's going to work with my Mega Drive. I don't know if it's an American import or something. The same with Tasmania, also says Genesis, which is a bit odd. So I've got them from the same person, so I'm wondering, are they imported? Hopefully not. Hopefully they're going to work. We've got Aladdin. That's a lovely game. I haven't played it on the Mega Drive, but I played it on the Amiga, and that was pretty cool graphics on that, so hopefully the Mega Drive is just as good. And then one of my favourite games, and this is Wiz and Liz. Absolutely brilliant game. Played it on the Amiga again, and basically I forget, but what you do is you go around, I think you collect rabbits, and you also collect different vegetables, put them into a cauldron, mix them together, and it makes different potions. I can't remember exactly. It's been a long time since I played it. I mean, it came out in '93. So, but from what I remember, it was an absolutely brilliant game. So, you know, I played lots on this, so that's cool. Right, so, enough about that. They're pickups. Got another, well, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to split my channel up a little bit. So I'm going to stick with the retro games and the retro reviews and all that sort of thing, but I'm going to add a little bit extra to it. And this is going to be fun with electronics. So this video, along with the pickups, is also going to be, the rest of this video is going to be about electronics. And there's a reason for it. It's not just completely sidelining it, there is a link here. And the link is that I want to build a console. So, like a Mega Drive or a Nintendo, I want to build, probably going to be 16-bit, maybe 32-bit, depends on what processor I can get hold of. I will, so here's the concept, here's the idea, and I'm just thinking on my arse here, not my feet. I will put the console together bit by bit, just from using different parts as I go along. If some bits work, some bits don't, and I'll just build it together over a time period. And then what I will do is I will put the plans for the console online, so then other people can follow the instructions and build exactly the same console. Now what I also, so it's not just going to be a console, because what's a console going to do without games? Exactly. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to build a development kit for it. Now this will mean that you can get somebody who's good at graphics, like pixel art, someone who's good at music, somebody who's good at game logic, and all they have to do is download the development kit, put their ideas into it, put their music, put their graphics in, and then there will be certain engines. Now the engines will be completely open as well, do what you want with them, but there'll be pre-built engines like platformers or racing games and things like that. There's all different genres of games, so you can make, so I can make an engine for each type of genre that will work with the system. And then all you do is you put your graphics in, you put your stories in, your ideas, your scripts and so on. You just take the engine, out of the box if you want, or as I say, customise it however you want. You put the game on a little SD card or something like that. I haven't fully thought with this yet, again, just thinking on my arse. What I would like is to have some kind of SD adapter, so you actually put the adapter inside like a cartridge style. And what I would like is so you can take these cartridges, because SD cards cost bugger all nowadays. I mean, they're free on the front of magazines and things, you know. Take the SD card, slot it into the top of the machine, and power it on, and bang, you've got your game. None of this through a network, internet connected, no tangible media, waiting for things to load, none of this rubbish. I want fast, super fast, like it used to be. Like with the cartridges, like how it used to be. I want that now with modern games. So, you know, so why only stick with the games that have been released and that's retro? Keep it going, is what I say. I'm ranting now. So anyway, so on with the electronics bit. So I got another pickup. I won't bling this time, I'll just go and get it. And I actually really like this because it's compared to what I've had before, this is brilliant. So this is a new soldering iron. What we've got, you won't be able to see this because the camera doesn't focus, it's a piece of shit. So it's very, very fine point, and I'm going to be using this for surface mount technology. What happens is you've got two displays. The first display is your current temperature, and the second display is your desired temperature. So you can up and down to whatever temperature you want, and then there's a little heat sensor in here that knows how hot it's getting, and it adjusts the temperature accordingly. My last, and it's got a little pull-out tray here with these sponge things so you can keep it clean in there. My last soldering iron didn't have a stand, burnt the carpet a few times as you do, and it took forever to heat up, and when it did heat up it was so rubbish that you had to put the solder on the side of the iron to melt it and then sort of drag it down to the tip because the tip didn't get hot enough. This, the tip, is so hot that the solder is melting before the tip has even got to it. I just love it. So anyway, again, another pickup. So they're from Maplin. This has got the Maplin name on it. It's 50 quid, but you know, it's good. Well worth it. When I paid, I don't know, 20 quid for my old one, which is a piece of crap. Right, so what I'm going to do in this first video is make a voltage regulator. So a voltage regulator, all it does is it takes an unknown input voltage between certain tolerances. I don't know what the regulator takes, but I'm sure it'll be less than what I'm throwing at it. So I'm going to take a Mega Drive adapter, power adapter, stick a couple of wires in it, put it through the voltage regulator, and then output 5 volts. And then all of my components after that will be running from this regulator. So this perfect, well, hopefully perfect 5 volt supply line will be supplying everything else that I make from here. So again, this is fun with electronics. So it's not going to be straight into building the console. I'm going to be experimenting with all different chips and things, logic gates and shift registers and LEDs and you name it, loads of different things. Get them all, you know, get the hang of it, and so you get the hang of it and what things do, and then I'll start getting into how the processor works, how the RAM works, how the graphics chip works, and how it all interconnects together, which again is very simple once you get the basic concepts. Okay, I've probably bored you enough by now, but what I'll do is now I'm going to stick the video of me building the regulator onto the end of this. So thanks for watching. Okay, so the first thing I've done is I've taken this Mega Drive AC adapter. Now what it does is it outputs, it says 10 volts at 1.2 amps, but in a minute I'll show you that it's not. So something you need to be careful of, and something else you need to be careful of, and my camera probably won't focus because it's shit. Yep, can't change the focus, but basically this is the minus sign and that's the positive sign, and the positive is on the outside of the connector. So what I've done, because if you get it around the wrong way, you've got it around the wrong way. So what I've done is I've put a piece of wire on the outside of the connector and a piece of wire on that I've shoved inside. Got some heat shrink to just cover up the wires to keep it all nice and clean and safe. And then at the end I've got my which is now my positive and negative. and what I'll do is I'll just plug that into the board. What I'll do is I'll set the camera up next to it so it looks a bit more presentable. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this breadboard to build the voltage regulator. So what we have is we have these little red lines. So the red lines here and here, this is what you can use for your positive power, and the break in between them means that these are separated. This black line going all the way up means that all of this line is one long continuous line. Okay, so that's something to remember. So this side is going to be my input voltage, and this is going to be my output. Now I did tell you that it was the voltage was wrong. So when I hook this up to my multimeter, it actually shows 14 volts. Hang on a sec. All these wires getting everywhere. Right, it actually shows 14 volts coming from that power supply. But with these voltage regulators, I don't know what the maximum voltage is, but it will take it down to 5 volts. So what I've done is I've got one of these voltage regulators, and I've got some screws, and I've got a heatsink, and the hole wasn't big enough, so I had to use a metal drill bit, and drill through it, and then that way I could put a screw on and connect it in. So that's it connected there. So we'll just stick that onto the breadboard. I think they're called breadboards, so that's what I'm going to refer to them. So there's your voltage regulator, that's on there. Then you get 10 microfarad capacitors. Now there is a negative stripe on the 10 microfarad capacitor, and that's very important. If you get these round the wrong way, they blow up, and I mean they explode. So don't get them round the wrong way. The negative strip goes to the negative, which is the black. Nice and simple. So on these voltage regulators, the left is the input, the right is the output, the middle is the ground. So all we need to do is put one between the input and the ground, like that. And then it's a bit close, we'll move it over a little bit. There we go. And then one again with the negative to the ground, so the ground goes to the middle, between the output and the ground, like that. And I think what I'm going to do is just stick my glasses on because I can't see. So yep, that's in. So what we have now is 10 microfarads on the input, 10 microfarads on the output. Nice and simple. We need to connect the ground, so I've got a little bit of cable cut here. So we will connect to the ground, which is that one, which is the middle one. If it will poke in, there we go, and connect to the ground. There we go. So now we have our ground connected. The next thing is we've got another piece of cable. That's going to take the input voltage. So just give the ends a twiddle, because these are not. These are. They've got lots of little. I can't even see the camera, and you can't see this anyway. But it's not solid like the black cable. The red ones are. They've got lots of little cables inside. I don't know what it's called. Anyway, so this is fun with electronics. There we go. So that's now putting that 14 volts into the input of the voltage regulator. So now we need to tap off the output of the voltage regulator. And I won't plug it the other side into the board. What I'll do is I'll just show you on my multimeter what the voltage is that's coming out of this thing, so that way you can actually see it working. So we'll just shove that in there. That's the output. Okay, so that's it complete. That's all it takes. That's a voltage regulator. That turns pretty much any voltage DC into 5 volts. So all we need to do is get the multimeter. So here's the multimeter, as you can see. What I'll do is I'll twist it round so you can unplug the cable and plug it around this way so it's not in the way. There we go, so that way you can see. So now we've got our multimeter. Oh, I didn't even know this. Oh, look at that. On my multimeter I've got a transistor tester. NPN and PNP. Never even knew that, but now I do. So what we'll do then is we need to tap off the ground. So let me get some more cable out of the box and just bite the end off. Right. That's one end. Yeah, I don't use what's his names, cable strippers. Just use your teeth. Been doing it all my life, so you know I'm not going to stop now. Right, so plug the ground in. So first thing to do is put the power on. Hopefully this is not going to explode. And I'll just give it a quick test, so just in case it is going to go bang. That's showing 8 volts. That don't look good. Better stop that. What's going wrong here? That's in the right place. That's in the right place. Capacitor's in the right place. 8 volts. That weren't right. We'll try again just to make sure. This is fun with electronics, remember, so it is going to be fun. Okay, this is more like it. So, no, it's saying 8 volts. Can you see this? That's not right. That should say 5 volts. So something's gone wrong. It's not getting hot. The capacitors are fine. Why the hell is it 8 volts? Have I done something wrong on here? No, this is on the normal, what's his name? It's saying minus 8 volts. Uh-oh. What have I done wrong? Have I got the wires around the wrong way? I couldn't have. Okay, let's pull them out. Right, so what I've done now is I've just disconnected the wires from the transformer. We'll plug the transformer back in and we'll take a reading off of the transformer itself to see what the hell's going on. Right, transformers, yeah, it's the polarity is the right way around, and it's 40. See, I said it's 14 volts and not 10 volts like it's meant to be. Right, so what's happened to this thing? That's in the right place. Well, it's only bloody 2 capacitors. It's not that hard. Oh, hang on a sec. I see what's happened here. I've plugged the bloody negative into the positive. So it became, I don't know, maybe it's a voltage divider or what. So at the bottom here, you know what I was saying about there's a black line for ground? Well, I had the ground plugged into the positive. So, who knows what that was doing. Okay, let's plug it all. Let's unplug the transformer. And, see, even the best of us get it wrong sometimes. Not that I'm the best, but... Okay. So now, if we plug this back into here... Okay, so I've got all the wires connected, in the red and the black in the black. So, let's try again. Let's try again. So if you can see this, I'll try and get it all on the screen at the same time. There we go. So, power it up. Right, you've seen the 14 volts, so you know what that is. Hopefully this ain't going to go bang. We connect the negative, and we connect the positive, and we get, there we go, 5 volts. That's what we was after, 5.06, but who knows, my meter may not be perfect. But that is a regulated voltage, so now I have 5 volts. So now I've got the 5 volts, I can use these little things. These are little logic circuits and chips and timers and all sorts of stuff. So